Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another video. I hope y'all are doing well. Today's video is going to be the making of the May journal. Yes, it is May 1st today, so I figured, yeah, I better get started, right? Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you are returning. Quick little video. I usually don't even show how I create my journals, my monthly journals, simply because down in the description box below there is a link to a bunch of different videos where I do a tutorial of making journals out of various things, an envelope being one of them. Let me just show you. This is what my April of 2025 looked like. I really enjoy using the envelopes. I have enjoyed envelopes, I don't know, for the last couple of years. And yeah, I love the size of it. It holds 1 month perfectly. I get to design the cover, each month, which is always fun, changing it up a bit. I put these little dangles on the side, and this holds like, you know, mm, monthly moments. How about we call it that? Monthly moments, right? And so this is what it turns out looking like. But again, I design each one differently every month. Sometimes like this one here, I painted it with acrylic paint, scribbled some stuff, put some ephemera bits on it, put a quote on it, called it macaroni. So this time for the month of May, it's very floral. I'm feeling very floral. So let's get started. Okay, this is what I use for the binding. You'll see that in a few minutes, hopefully. What is this called? Embroidery floss. That's what I use for that. I use, this is vintage lace, and I use that. I'm going to use that for the closure of this one. This I'm going to use for the spine. This is a ruffled and sewn ribbon that I don't know. I think I might have got it in the vintage pack I got a long while ago. Well, a couple years ago. I went to an estate sale. Anyway, so there's that. This is just vellum. This is the innards of my book. I've taken, time ahead of time so as not to take a whole load of time with you guys. This is printed vellum. I like using those as my first page. I put all my papers together before I turned on, the video. Sometimes for me, of course, putting journals together can be very painstaking. Okay. And to be honest with you, that is why I usually do not film me doing, the making of the journal, because, yeah, it can be very painstaking. So, anyway, in here, I have, once we get it bound in the book, I'll show you all the pages, but in here, I have 16, 16 pages. Okay. Um, and what 16 pages gives me is a double spread for each day of May. Okay. Now this is going to go in here like so and like so. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do the cover. So let me think. Okay, I'm going to need some tape. I might use thicker tape. Excuse me. This tape here, thick double-sided tape. Okay. Um there we go. Just making sure I'm in the center. Okay. So, and then this is scrapbook paper. So I'm using floral scrapbook paper for the front cover and for the inside of the book. And let me just get this little thing over here, move some stuff around a little bit. Um, just so I don't get glue on my mat. My desk, let me tell you, my desk is such a mess, but I put this on here for another video that I was doing, and then it's like I just left it there, and now I've got crap all over it, and gosh, it would just be so much easier if I cleaned up my room. Yep. Okay, so I am going to close this. When I first began like experimenting with the envelope journal, I I used this as a pocket actually, and it just didn't work out for me because why? Because my book gets a little thick, and then Or I think actually when I first started these, I used this flap as like a wraparound to like as a closure for the journal. But then my journals got too thick. So then I took that part out and now I just glue it down. It's just as easy. Now I have these envelopes in my stash. I don't suggest that you, run out and buy envelopes. But, if you could get them for free on Marketplace or someone's giving them away or, you don't need them anymore or, whatever. But yeah, I had bought them years and years ago for what I have no clue. But so now I have them. So now I'm going to use them. Okay. So now let's see here. These I picked for the inside. I get my scrapbook paper at, Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't use anything special. I get whatever on sale, whatever strikes my fancy at the time. I do not have a whole load of scrapbook paper. So I might have like, I don't know, two, maybe three booklets of scrapbook paper. And they're generally, believe it or not, they're generally like the same, this like floral. So that's just the way that I roll. Okay, so with this, I am just going to use this thick tape, put it on. I use a combination, so I'll use the thick tape and then I will also use glue. Whoops. Now, hopefully, well, of course, I'll probably jinx myself, but hopefully I'll be able to do this and my hands won't cramp. Oh my word, you guys. The other day, when was it? Yesterday, I think it was. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. We went over to my daughter's new house and we were helping her with whatever she needed help with. My husband needed to caulk the bathrooms and um, yeah, where's scissors? Okay, caulk bathrooms and then I offered to clean the stove. Now, this is a new to them house, so, it's been lived in before. Well lived in, I might add. But anyway, it could have been so much worse. So right now, even though they've been the proud owners for a few weeks, um, they haven't moved in yet because they're, cleaning it and um painting everything, and it takes a long time, right? So yesterday my husband and I were over there early in the morning because my daughter actually worked from home, but when she worked from home she ends up working later, like instead of her day being, I don't know what it is, 8 to 5, whatever normal time, I guess, she works like 10 to 7 at night. So yeah, so she met us over at the house and she was busy taping stuff off. Her and my daughter-in-law were busy taping stuff off, and I cleaned her oven for her. And can I tell you, I cleaned that oven for probably 3 hours. I was cleaning the oven, and I mean, I'm sure there are lots of like chemical ways that you can do it, like oven cleaner perhaps. You spray it in there, you close the door, you leave it, and then you're done. And then you just wipe it out or whatever. But I didn't want to do that because I don't like all the chemicals and stuff. Neither does her boyfriend. Okay, I'm turning the book this way. And oh, I didn't put the glue on. Hello, Elizabeth. So anyway, I use vinegar and baking soda. And it works. It does work really well. But man, do you have to put in the elbow grease, right? So that is why my hands might be a little crampy. So, okay, now I'm going to try let me hold my breath. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you on this envelope, it's a 9 by 12, by the way. 9 by 12? Is that right? No, yes, 9 by 12. Just so you know, 9 by 12 white envelope. You can also get, it doesn't have to be white. I ordered them white whenever I ordered them for whatever purpose. I still don't know. But you know what I could do too is get out my roly poly here. Gosh, I'm about to dump water all over my desk, which would not be good. Okay, so we'll just kind of get that adhered well. Okay, there's that. What was I saying? Oh, you can get like, I think they're 9 by 12 envelopes at Dollar Tree if you know, if you really want to. I say use your stuff, right? That's what I say. You can make these exact same things out of a piece of more thick cardstock, scrapbook paper if you wanted. They're just as easy to do it that way too. I just like them, like I said, I like them for their size. They don't bulk up too much, although I throw everything at them but the kitchen sink. So, they hold all the stuff that I want to put in them. Um, so that works out. So anyway, yeah, between trying to fold myself up and practically climb into the oven and trying to with my fingers, my fingernails are so disgusting. I've cleaned them and cleaned them. I should have worn gloves, but did not. Oh well, I know for next time. Anyway, sorry about that. I think that's so disgusting, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. All right, so there is that. And I tried to, prep the page or prep, the stuff that I was doing as much as possible so you could still see, the process, but it's not, like I said, so painstaking. Although I can make anything painstaking, so we'll just see how it goes, shall we? Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Oi. Okay, and then this. Yeah, so, and I don't know even when they're gonna be, my daughter and her boyfriend are gonna even be moving in. Good grief. I mean, because the painting just takes forever. Like they have crown molding in the house in the main living area, so they have you've got to tape. You have to paint that first, so you have to tape everything off, and then I don't think this is directional, so yeah, so you have to tape all that stuff off, and then let's hope this. Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah, you got to tape everything off. Well, just to do that part of it, just to do the trim, so you tape all the trim off. And then once the trim dries, of course, which happens to look very nice, I might add. After, what is this? Why is that not? Huh, that's bizarre. I don't know. This corner didn't get something for some reason. Okay, no big deal. Okay, so the inside cover is done. I don't do anything down the spine. It's no big deal because it's already a thick, envelope double layered. So it's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It doesn't make a difference to me, so I'm not gonna bother. Okay, with these here now, with these pretty little daisies, I'm going to put these here now. These don't go quite to, the spine once I put them on, which is perfectly fine because where'd it go? Because this little ruffle thing here is going to go like that, right? Or like this. Either which way, it doesn't really matter. But like this, right? So it doesn't matter, okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing to this. Gosh. Oh, so how are you guys doing? Do you have your May journals done already? In fact, I think when I post this, I'm probably going to what did I have? I had a flip through, I think, I think this will probably air on Friday. But yeah, I had the flip through and of my what was it? Of my March book, I think. And so, yeah, I think I'm trading this one out for that one. Um, yeah, just because. And then, yeah, so you guys can see what I did at the beginning of May instead of, waiting for you guys to see it toward knowing me toward the middle of May. So, yeah. I, for one, would like to know where our May showers are. Oh my goodness. Yes, we have not had rain for weeks. I think my husband and I determined we haven't had it like for a month, like for 4 weeks at least. And even when we did have rain, it was literally like one day. That was it. So yeah, we are looking forward to some rain, of course, in a couple of weeks. Um, toward the end of May, we start getting daily showers, because I live in South Florida. So yeah. So we generally, I know I've said it before, um, living in South Florida, we don't have 4 seasons like the rest of the country. We're special. We only have 2 seasons. So we have the wet season and we have the dry season, much like any other tropical place that, is in the world. Yeah, we have wet and dry, and our wet season is in the summer until let's see, until mid fall, and then our dry season is from mid fall to end of spring, maybe no, mid spring, I guess. Yeah. So anywho, there is that. Yeah, so our grass is dying everywhere, all over the neighborhood, and we have sprinklers. Can I just tell you that? Okay, so yeah, all over the neighborhood, the grass is just gasping, gasping for water. My garden is doing okay. I go out and I water my garden daily. Um, Sometimes we water the grass. It all depends what we feel like, I guess. If we feel like watering it. Once it gets like super parched, though, we do water it because no one wants dead grass. This is not directional, so I'm trying to put it equidistant from the top and bottom. There we go. Sort of. Good enough. Nothing is ever square. Either, even if they say it's 12 by 12 paper, it's not. It could be like 1/32 of an inch off, but it's still off. Such a pain. All right, so there's that. Then we'll do this. Yeah. We went this morning to, well, Remington got groomed. Yeah. So we had to go back out on the island for that. So, yeah, we went out to the island, and after we drop him off, we meet our in-laws. They still live on the island, so we meet them. We meet them out there, and they have a place right there, by the pool, by the community pool, that serves breakfast. So we went and we had a very nice breakfast together. Then we went back to their house and just visited, caught up on all the tea, and all that stuff. So, yeah, so it was nice. Very nice to see them. Okay, let's get this down. Um, yeah, and Remington looks all spiffy in his new coat. Yes, he does. Okay, that turned out all right. Okay. Okay, now the next thing. So this is what it looks on the outside. I actually like the outside better than the inside, but that's okay. Yeah, that's really pretty. But I really liked this, and it's so bright and cheerful. So yeah, so we're gonna use this, which is like daisies and such. So we're gonna put this on here, like so. Okay. Um, let's see how to do this best. All right, I think okay. Um, you know what? You know what I might do? Um, I might use tape for part of it, just for part of it. Okay. That I think by using tape, this might help me to control what I'm doing better, perhaps. I don't know. We will see. Okay. We shall see. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. So, and then this, it's hard at this angle to see. I do, because I don't want to put any glue on the spine, you know? Um, because that would make it difficult when I go to bind the journal, you know, if I had, let's just make sure that that's down in there. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put my needle through it, in other words. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to take the Fabri-Tac and we're going to wipe its nose. I don't understand how this just gets so gross all the time. I put the lid on it all the time, and it's still, I'm just wiping it off, but it's, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, okay. So now I'm going to add, if I can, this is so thick. Okay. I'll add a bead right down on the other side of the tape. Again, I do not want to put it straight down the spine because um you won't be able to put your needle in it, you know? Okay, so let us see. Let us see. Do I want it this way or this way? No, I don't want it that way. Do I want it this way? Does it matter? I don't know. Okay, let's just hope. Here's to hoping. You know what? Let's go. Let's do this. Yikes. Okay. Yes. All right. I have to, I'm trying to check and see if it's going down the center. Okay, so very quickly, we will fold this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now, oh, lovely. Okay, I'm going to cut off the top and cut off the bottom, but that seems to have worked. Look at that. Okay, in one fell swoop. Now, what I'll probably just leave this open like that. It'll work. It'll be fine. Okay, let's get these scissors here. We're going to open this back up. And it does not have to be perfect at all. Okay. Um, I'm just stretching this out because when I fold it before it dries, right? It yeah, before it dries, it's going to leave like a little pucker there. Anyway, the only thing is now this is going to bother me. It will not bother most people, okay? I'm not most people. But since this is not like exact, when I go to sew in to bind it, oh, it's going to drive me nuts, right? Because it's not going to be anywhere close, but that's okay. All right. You know what? Let's do it this way. We're just cutting this off. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. Now, there's the inside, there's the outside, and that's what it looks like. And then I'm sure that I will put May and the year and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it looks cute. I might even end up putting something on top, even on top of this, a little piece of lace or something. I don't know. Maybe not, maybe so. I'm not sure. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. You take your 16 pieces. I also have vellum in here. which I do not count as 16, okay? In the 16, I should say. This is going to go just like this, and then we're done, right? Okay. Um, first things first. All right. Um, what I like to do for my books lately, and let me see which, this is how I keep my needles. I guess we'll use this one if it works. Hmm. We shall see. Okay. Um, let me, oh, dag nabbit. You know what? This is what happens when you don't put your tools away. Oh no, here it is. Okay, good. I need my awl. All right. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke 2 holes in the top. All right. Yeah. Okay. See that? Hopefully. Oh, it did not. There. Okay. Had to see. It did end up going through. And then I'm going to poke another one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see how well that worked. Okay. This is the little loop that I see. That went well. Okay. Now, I think the other loop is right there. Yep. Okay. That was easy enough. All right. I do like 2 or 3 rounds, trying not to split my thread. Okay. We go. And then this is going to go right into there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Because, I'm not hanging anything super tight, or heavy. Not tight. Now I just tie it off. That's it. Um, yeah, I don't put anything super heavy on here. This is where I put my little, what did I say? Month moments. Yeah, my little months moments. Okay. That's it. All right. So now, if you can see, sorry for all the moving around. See, little hook there. I am going to put a lobster claw on that and hang a dangle. Okay. Right. Oh, I like the way that looks so far. Looks pretty and cheerful, which is what I think May is, pretty and cheerful. I am measuring out 3 lengths of thread, and I use a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I generally do not put a whole lot of effort, I have to say. Let me try to thread this stupid thing. I usually do not put a whole lot of effort into my covers, to be honest with you. They pretty much get slapped together very quickly. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, okay, so this is what I'm going to do with this. Now, some people measure it. I used to be the measuring sort, okay? I just flat out don't care anymore. All right? I just don't. I need a book, I need it quickly, and this is the best way to do it for me, okay? So, we'll look at the pages, we'll go through the pages afterward, but what I'm going to do, this is going to be a little bit different because I have this thick fabric, right? But that's okay. Um, okay, I have these together. I have them tight to the center, right? I have them bound so at least they're just held together, all right? I'm going to stick these right in here where I think I want them to go, which is about there, right? And this is so, like, let me just pick it up and show you. See at the bottom, I want that little like 1/8 of an inch or whatever. I want that space. And up at the top, I really don't care because stuff can come out the top and it doesn't matter. I just don't like it too much out of the top, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we're nestling that right in the center. Okay, I'm going to hold my book like this, and that's where I want it. I'm looking here, right here, to make sure that there is space. I'm going to move this to I'm sorry, geez, move the clip to include the cover. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing down here to include the cover. Okay, so hopefully everything will stay together. Now I'm just going to take my awl. Now I might not use this one. I have another one. Um, if it's in here, yes. I have this silly thing. I can't stand this thing. You say, why, Elizabeth? Why are you going to use it then? Well, it is so frustrating that it's the Tim Holtz one. It has never worked since I have owned it. Now it's, there we go. Okay. There's something wrong with this thing. Like it doesn't stay open, right? But anyway, at any rate, the reason I'm using this awl instead of this one that's over 100 years old is because this is a tapering one and this is straight, right? Yeah, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so I have my awl, hopefully. Yeah. Um, I'm going to look for the center, which to me looks about right there. Again, I just really don't care anymore about measuring and all that. Okay, now we're going to close the book, and this stupid awl is going to really aggravate me. Okay, now I am pushing quite hard. You just have to be very careful so that you don't puncture your finger. Don't do that. I'm twisting it. There it comes. Ooh, that was close, huh? Yes, be very careful, especially when you're using an awl that doesn't work properly. Ugh, that just burns me to no end. Anyway, okay, okay, now we're gonna do the same thing. I go up about like an inch or so, if you can see that. Yeah, an inch or so from the bottom, an inch and a half maybe. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hold the book, fold it over. There it comes. See? Very simple. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing up here. We're going to go down about, let's see. That's sort of measuring, but that's not near where I want to be. Okay, that's about where I want to be. Eyeballing it. Yeah. Oh, this. See, that's what it does. It doesn't hook right. So anyway, there we go. Boy, that was a close one too. Yikes. Okay, just be very careful. Be very, very careful. Okay, so that was easy peasy. I go in through the center. I don't like things hanging out the back of mine, mainly because that's why I put this loop up here, right? So I go in through the center, turn the book around. I see the hole there. Ooh, that was simple. Okay, go up to the top, pull it through. This, you want to leave a tail so you have something to tie it to. Go clear down to the bottom one. And this should go, there we go, straight through. Oh my gosh, today's my lucky day. Although I probably just jinxed myself. And then this, you go right back up into the center again. And there you go, making sure you didn't split your thread, which I hope I did not. All right. Boy, that was pretty darn painless. Now, the one thing is you want one string, you want them underneath this center one on the right, one on the left. Okay. So there is that. Put that back in my cork. And then you pull these ever so gently until, if you pull them too, oh no, you know what? I did go through there we go. That's okay. I actually went through the thread, but it was just such a little piece of it. No big deal. Yeah, if you pull too much, you'll rip these here. You don't want that, right? So let's turn it over. And if, I mean, in all honesty, Okay, that is not the right one. Okay, that's nice and tight. That's the one that I'm pulling on. So now we'll pull that one for you, huh? Okay, nice and tight. And there you have it. Oh my gosh. I think that was like my least painful journal making session in a very long time. Yep. Another reason why I enjoy using these, let's put the tools away, these envelopes, because it just is seriously that quick. You know, within 30 minutes, you know, if you're sitting here concentrating and not yammering away, then it works out so nicely. Okay. Now let me just see here. Okay, let's see the cover here. You know what? I don't know. I think I might use yellow if I have enough. Okay, let's see if I have enough. I love yellow so much. Let's put this in half. I think that'll work out fine. I'll show you how I do it. Where did my scissors? Oh my gosh. Somebody help me. Help me. Help me. All right, now I need this. I did not get this stuff out. So sorry. Um, which one are these? What is happening here? Okay, those aren't the ones that I want. I'm looking for eyelets here. I need to order some more. Okay, let us see. We're just going to use some orange ones because I have them, and when else am I going to use orange eyelets? Okay, now for this part, I do measure. Yep, I do. Okay, so we're going to open the book like this. Where is my ruler? Oh, let's cap this glue so it doesn't dry out. Okay, now I find the center. Since it's 9 this way, that means about 4.5. I had a pencil here. There it is. Okay. Um, it, yep, look at that. Around about there. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing here. About 4.5. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. We're going to use, this is, I don't know what this is called. I forget. I'm sure you guys know. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. I don't know. Crocodile. Maybe it's the crocodile. Okay. And then we punch our holes. And we punch our holes. Get out of there. There we go. Oh, I still need this. Okay. We put our eyelets in. I think you do it this way. I don't really know. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. On your crocodile, this part here that has the little like peg sticking out, you put that through the hole of the eyelet on the top of it. And then you squeeze. Okay. I hope this was right. Okay. Now, with these, I take these, I double them up. I put them through the top part. Whether or not that makes a difference, I have no clue. I'll tell you when I'm done. Yeah, so the knot looks like that. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't know. Okay. And this, oh my gosh, can I tell you how flippin' hot it is? It's not even summer. Not even close to summer. Ugh, the joys of living in South Florida. Okay. And then this goes like that. There we go. I think this is the front. Oh, yeah. Because see, there's my loop. And there, see what I told you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like off. It's not going to bother me. Okay. I'm lying. It's going to bother me. But, you know, it's all right. It's okay. See? And there you have it. Isn't that cute? And then, like I said, I do not put very much effort into these books. I don't, because, like I said, I need them to be done quickly. I need them to be, made simply and easily. And, yeah. So I don't put a lot of effort into it. This, with, like I said too, without all the yammering, you can make this in like 20 minutes, if that, you know. So there you have it. That's what it looks like. Super, super simple, right? Super cute. Okay, now we'll quickly go through the pages. So this is what it looks like inside. I love how it came out because, yeah, to me, May screams flowers, right? Um, I don't know what that saying is. So May showers bring, no, April showers bring May flowers. Yeah, we haven't had any April showers either, let me tell you. Anyway, this is printed vellum. I do it purely because I love it. That's it. There's no use for it, there's no purpose for it. I do it because I think it's beautiful. So there's that. This right here, um, I might put like an opening page, or I have these beautiful items I received last year, maybe. I don't even know if there's a date on here, but these are from Sweet Rebecca Hoot. And I might even just put this little girl right on the front there. I just think it's so adorable. Yeah, these were from a few years ago. So I can't wait to use these. So this, I just kind of do like an opening page. And then there are 16 pages. So we have this vintage paper from somewhere, scrapbook paper, vintage map, doily. I do not count the doilies in my 16 pages. Okay. And again, like I have 16 pages folded in half. So when you open it like this would be one day, right? Like if this was May 1st, this would be May 1st, not including this. This is just extra little fluff to decorate, right? Okay. This is dyed note paper from a journal. Yeah. Um, Scrapbook paper. Love these colors together. This is ledger paper. This is dyed, I believe, maybe parchment paper, something like that. Here's another doily. Love how that looks next to this scrapbook paper. There we go. This is dyed again, journal paper. The journal paper I get from like when I go into a store and I see that they have journals. If they are staple bound, I purchase them. And if they're lined inside, I purchase them because I can easily dye the paper. I can take the staples out and then I have my own little signature or folio. I do believe one page of a signature is called a folio. So, anyway, not to get too technical. This is like old vintage, like baseball score sheet, vintage music text. Here's one of those papers, just plain though. I happen to really enjoy lines. That's why I use a lot of lined paper in my books. This is just regular dyed paper, no lines. I love the scrapbook paper so much. So it's in a pack. So you saw it or you've seen. I have a lot of the same patterns but different colors. Yeah, it's because it all came in one pack. This is dyed grid paper. This right here is beautiful. Look how beautiful that looks together. Hello. This is beautiful paper from printable from Recreations by Brooke. So it's called Spring is Sprung. I think it's gorgeous. So I used one of those papers and I double-sided printed it. So this was another one of them. I just love, love, love the way it came out. And in that packet too, which I don't have right with me, unfortunately, I'll probably discuss it on a ramble session, the next ramble session. But anyway, um, she also has in there a lot of like tags and pocket ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, and then look how nice that looks. It looks so pretty. So beautiful. Oh, by the way, if you want to get your own printables, um, join her Facebook group and you can get all the printables, right? And she does Friday freebies. This particular one was a multiple page kit. It's so beautiful. So yeah, if you want some beautiful springtime papers, printables, go over to Recreations by Brooke Facebook page. Okay. And then this part here is the other side, obviously, right, of the papers. So this is what this looks like. And yeah, and there you have it. Journal made. I mean, I yammer a lot, but surprisingly, too, there were hardly any mistakes in the making of this journal, which I am very happy about. Um, Again, I will put maybe I'll use Rebecca Hoots May on there, you know, on here. Yeah, I might just do that. Why not? Why not? So let's just go. There we go. Ah, beautiful. Wonderful. I hope I was in frame. Isn't that pretty? And then I'll get just some stickers to put, whatever year we're in, 25, right? But there you have it. Okay, front to or start to finish. I know it took, a while. The video took a while, but in reality, it literally takes half of the time of this video to put this together. Dollar Tree, like I said, has envelopes, or use stuff from your trash. If you get like an Amazon, like flat packing or whatever, use that. So many ways to do it. I just happen to have a lot of envelopes, but if you wanted to try your hand in an envelope one, then yeah, the Dollar Tree sells them for, I think there are a couple in a pack for $1.25. So yeah, I love the way it came out. Like I said, May to me screams like flowers and springtime, even though we don't really have that here in Florida, but in most parts of the US, it's springtime, flowers are popping out, all that kind of stuff. So that's what it reminds me of. Yeah, I'm glad that I could use this vintage ribbon that I made into a ruffle. I think it looks really pretty next to the yellow vintage lace. So yeah, I love the way it came out. And I am ready to get started on my May journaling. So, of course, when you're seeing this, it'll be, I don't know, May 2nd or something. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I know a lot of you sometimes ask me, do you have a video on how you made that journal? And like I said, I usually do not film the making of my journals simply because um, there tends to be always some kind of snafu, which amazingly there wasn't one this time, or um, because I do have in the description box multiple ways on how to make a journal out of different substrates, one of them being an envelope. Okay, so make sure you check down below too on how I've done other types of journals using other types of materials. So, again, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I know time is precious, and I really, really appreciate that you choose to spend your time with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye for now.